Twilight falls gently. The last threads of sunlight linger on the horizon, fading into a calm blue that deepens into night. Somewhere, far from the noise of cities, the ancient gates of a forgotten temple still stand. They are weathered by time, touched by rain, softened by moss, yet their shape remains silent, patient, eternal. You find yourself drifting toward them. The air is cool, and the faint scent of earth rises around your steps. There are no voices, no footsteps but your own. Only the quiet breath of evening and the soft call of a night bird, echoing once, then fading away. The temple gates stand tall, carved with patterns worn smooth by centuries. Symbols spiral across their surface. Suns, rivers, wings, and circles, each one speaking without words. They do not shout. They do not demand. They only wait as they have waited for countless seasons, for the quiet traveler who comes not with noise but with stillness. You pause before them. The stone feels alive with memory. Every line, every curve of the carving is like a whisper of those who once gathered here. Priests in robes, villagers with offerings, seekers carrying their prayers. They all passed beneath these gates. And even though their footsteps are gone, their presence still lingers like a gentle echo, folded into the stone itself. The air seems to grow softer. The sky above you turns deep and velvet dark, stars beginning to bloom like pale flowers in the night, and you remember every sacred path begins not with movement, but with silence. The silence of a breath, the silence of a pause, the silence that lets the soul awaken to the hidden world around it. So you stand here, still, resting before the ancient threshold. The wind brushes past, carrying the coolness of night. It rustles through unseen trees, and the leaves sound like the quiet turning of pages. It is as if the gates themselves are a book, waiting to be read with the eyes of the spirit, not the mind. The carvings glow faintly in the moonlight. There is the circle, endless and unbroken, symbol of the sun's return and the soul's rebirth. There is the flame, rising upward, slender as a prayer carried to the heavens. There are wings, open and wide, promising freedom, guiding the heart to places beyond sorrow. Each shape is simple, yet filled with an ocean of meaning. Each one feels like a soft hand, placed gently upon the shoulder, reminding you that you are part of something vast and eternal. You step closer. The stones beneath your feet are cool and uneven, yet steady. Their firmness reassures you, like the embrace of earth itself. When you raise your eyes again, the gates seem taller, their shadows stretching upward into the stars. It is not a wall meant to keep you out. It is a doorway, an invitation, a passage into the quiet heart of the sacred. But before you pass through, you are asked to be still. The silence here is not empty. It is alive. It hums like the faint sound of a distant drum. Though no drum is struck, it vibrates like the hidden note in a shell, though no ocean is near. It is the silence that comes when time slows, when the world holds its breath, waiting for you to listen. You close your eyes for a moment. In the darkness behind your eyelids, the temple gates still stand. Their shape presses gently into your thoughts, steady and protective. And in that stillness, you hear something softer than sound. The slow rhythm of your own breath, the calm beating of your heart, the subtle pulse of life that has always been with you, guiding you like a lantern in the night. When you open your eyes again, the gates seem to have shifted. The carvings shimmer faintly, as though the moonlight has entered them. You imagine the hands of the ancient stone carvers chiseling with patience, shaping these symbols with care. They knew they were building not only for their time, but for all time. They carved with the belief that long after their own bodies had returned to the soil, these gates would still stand, whispering their quiet truths, and here you are, centuries later, listening. It feels as though they carved these symbols for you, as though they knew that one day, under a silver sky, you would arrive with quiet footsteps, and you would pause, and you would see. You touch the stone. It is cool beneath your fingertips, textured with the passage of rain and wind. Yet it feels warm in another way. Warm with memory, warm with presence. It is as if the stone has been waiting, holding its silence like a gift, until you arrive to receive it. The wind shifts again, and you hear a faint chime in the distance. Perhaps it is a bell swaying in the night air. Perhaps it is only the echo of your own heart. Either way, the sound feels holy, a soft call that tells you the gates are ready to open. But before they do, you linger a little longer in their shadow, for there is peace even here, in waiting. The pause before the journey is as sacred as the journey itself. The ancients knew this truth, that to step into the temple, one must first quiet the storm within. One must arrive not with haste, but with reverence, and so you wait and breathe and feel the calm grow deeper. The stars above are countless. They wheel slowly in the velvet dark, patient as the stones at your side. You imagine the worshippers of long ago standing just as you are, looking upward to these same stars. They too must have felt small beneath their brilliance. They too must have felt comfort, knowing that while their lives passed quickly, the stars would remain, guiding, watching, keeping silent vigil. You think of all the gates of the world. Some are doors to homes, some are doors to cities, some are doors to secret gardens. But the temple gate is different. It does not keep one world in and another out. It does not divide, it unites. It is the space where the human heart meets the eternal mystery, where the dust of the earth meets the breath of the divine. You let this thought linger. The gates are not only before you, they are also within you. Every time you close your eyes in stillness, every time you pause and breathe, you enter this sacred threshold. You do not need stone or carving or ancient symbols, for the true gate is silence itself, and silence is always near. The night grows deeper. The moon rises higher, her light brushing the temple gates with silver. They look almost transparent now, as though they are becoming part of the night sky. Soon they will no longer be stone, but dream. Soon they will open, not into walls and halls, but into the vastness of your own inner world. You take a step closer. Your breath is calm. Your eyes are soft. The silence welcomes you like a gentle embrace. The gates begin to part, not with sound, not with motion, but with the quiet grace of a dream unfolding. And as you cross the threshold, you do not feel weight or fear. You feel only lightness, as though the air itself is lifting you. You are carried not forward, but inward into the calmest place of all, the still sanctuary of rest. Now, the gates close softly behind you, not to keep you trapped, but to guard your sleep. They will stand watch, steady and silent, until dawn returns. Their symbols will glow quietly in your dreams, guiding you deeper and deeper into peace. Rest now, the temple holds you. The silence surrounds you, and the night, eternal and kind, sings softly above. Let the stars return. Let the gates keep watch, and let your spirit drift onward into the endless calm of sleep. Night has deepened. The stars above rest quietly in their patterns, each one steady, each one glowing like a lantern in the velvet sky. Beneath this dome of light, the circle begins to reveal itself. It is not only in the carvings of temples, nor only in the symbols left behind by ancient hands. The circle is everywhere. It is the path of the sun, the turning of the moon, the rhythm of breath, the opening and closing of eyes. It is the shape of eternity, soft and without edges, endless and whole. You stand or perhaps float in a place where earth and sky meet. The horizon curves around you in every direction. There are no sharp corners here, no sudden endings, only the gentle sweep of circles folding one into another, like ripples spreading across still water. The ancients saw this too. To them, the circle was a mirror of the heavens. They watched the sun rise, climb, and set, only to return again the next day. They marked the moon's round face, swelling and shrinking, yet always returning to fullness. They traced the slow wheel of the stars as they turned through the seasons, never breaking, never stopping, always circling back. And so they carved circles into stone. They painted them upon sacred walls. They walked in circles in their rituals, tracing paths that mirrored the sky. Each circle reminded them that life is not a line that ends, but a cycle that turns, To enter a circle was to enter the truth that nothing is ever lost, only changed, only renewed. Imagine now the circle of the sun. You see it rising in golden silence, casting soft light across ancient lands. Its warmth touches mountains, rivers, and the quiet faces of those who once prayed at dawn. You see it climb to midday, radiant and strong, blessing the earth with its fullness. Then you see it descend, gentle and tender, painting the sky in hues of rose and amber, and when at last it sinks below the horizon, you know it will return. Always it returns. The ancients called this promise eternity, and they trusted it with their hearts. Now picture the circle of the seasons, the breath of spring, when flowers open and streams awaken. The fullness of summer, heavy with fruits and long warm days, the fading of autumn, leaves falling like golden prayers to the ground. The quiet of winter, where stillness covers all and life sleeps beneath the snow. And then, spring again. The cycle never breaks. It may change its colors, it may shift its song, but the circle always closes, always renews. The circle is also within you. It is in the rhythm of your breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale again. It is in the steady beat of your heart, pulse after pulse, never ending, never tiring, always circling back. It is in the way thoughts rise and fade, like waves upon an inner sea. The ancients saw this and understood. To live is to move in circles, to rest in cycles, to return again and again to the center. Some cults of old built their temples in circular form, round walls, round altars, round gathering places. They believed that within the circle, all were equal. No corner stood above another, no angle divided. The circle embraced all who entered, just as the heavens embrace the earth. Within such a shape, worshippers felt the unity of life, that all beings are part of one endless whole. Picture yourself standing within such a circle now. Stone pillars rise around you, each one curved toward the center, each one echoing the roundness of the world itself. Above, the roof is open to the sky, revealing the round moon in her gentle glow. Your footsteps echo softly on the ground, each sound circling outward, as if the very air remembers the shape of eternity. And then imagine the circle of dance. In many places, the faithful move together in circles, hand in hand. Step by step, the circle of dancers mirrored the stars above, each person shining like a point of light, each one part of the whole. They sang softly, their voices weaving into a single endless song. To dance in a circle was to join creation itself, to become a moving star, part of the wheel of eternity. Even in death, the ancients turned to circles. Tombs were round. Rings of stone marked places of burial. They placed wreaths upon the resting, soft circles of flowers, as a promise that life would bloom again. For them, death was not an ending, but a curve that led back into the beginning, a gate returning the soul to the circle of being. Now the circle spreads further still. Think of the earth itself, round, yet turning without end. Think of the sun, a golden circle burning in the sky. Think of the moon, silver and soft, round as a vessel of light. Even the stars, scattered as they are, move in slow circles across the heavens, each one part of a cosmic wheel. The ancients saw this dance and knew all of creation was one great circle, and to live within it was to live within eternity. Let the image settle now. A circle drawn, in the sand, a circle of flame lit. Around an altar, a circle of hands joined in quiet. Prayer. Each one reflects the same truth. What begins will return. What leaves will come back. What dies will live again. In some form, in some time, always circling back to the source. You breathe slowly. You feel the circle within your breath, within your heartbeat, within your quiet mind. The circle does not hurry. It does not break. It turns gently, endlessly, carrying you with it into calm. Now the stars above form a great wheel. They seem to spin around a hidden center. Though you stand still, their turning is silent, soft, unhurried. They remind you that eternity is not distant, not unreachable. It is here in the slow movement of night, in the rhythm of your breathing, in the endless return of peace. The ancients left circles for us not as riddles, but as lanterns. They wanted those who came after them to remember what they had seen in the sky, in the earth, in the heart. They wanted us to know that life is never lost, that every path bends gently back to the beginning. And so tonight, you rest within that truth. You are part of the great circle. You are carried within it, always, safely, endlessly. Let the circle hold you now. Let it cradle you like the arms of night, like the turning of the moon, like the endless wheel of stars. There is no edge. There is no end. Only the soft return, again and again, into calm. Drift into this circle. Rest in its center. And as your breath rises and falls, know that you are already part of eternity. Now the stars turn slowly overhead. Now the circle closes gently around you. And now you drift deeper, softer, quieter, into the peace of sleep. Rest as the circle returns. Rest as the night carries you onward. Rest as eternity holds you. Night has fallen deeply. The world lies wrapped in velvet shadow, and the air is cool, almost still. Only the faint rustle of leaves stirs at the edges of silence. Yet before you, there is light. A single flame glows, small yet unwavering, rising from an ancient fire bowl. Its glow flickers gently, painting soft golden lines upon the stone around it. This flame is no ordinary fire. It is tended with reverence, fed not only with wood or oil, but with prayer. Long ago, hands carried embers from distant mountains, from sacred hearths, from the heart of lightning itself. They placed them here, to burn without end. A reminder that even in the deepest night, light is never lost. You draw closer. The warmth brushes your skin, delicate as a whisper. It does not scorch. It soothes, like the hand of a guardian resting lightly upon your shoulder. The flame dances but never falls. It bends and sways as if it knows the rhythm of your breath, as if it listens to the slow pulse of your heart. The ancients believed fire was alive. They spoke of it as a god, a spirit, a messenger between earth and sky. Its smoke rose upward, carrying prayers into the unseen. Its warmth spread outward, holding the cold at bay. Its light fell downward, guiding weary travelers through the night. To them, fire was not only flame, it was memory. It was promise. It was life itself. Imagine the first fires lit by human hands. The spark struck from stone, the ember nurtured with breath. When it caught, when it rose, there must have been awe, a holy silence, as if the stars themselves had come to rest upon the earth. For in that flame was safety, was warmth, was hope. And in that flame, people saw the presence of the divine. You gaze into the fire now. Its colors shift and glow. Gold and amber, red as deep as heart's blood. A faint trace of blue at its base, hidden but strong. The flame bends like a dancer, swaying to music too soft to hear. Its light reflects in your eyes, and for a moment, it feels as though the flame is gazing back. It has been said that fire remembers. Each spark contains the memory of the first fire, the first light, the first warmth that touched the earth. To sit beside it is to sit beside the beginning. And so the ancients guarded it, carrying coals from temple to temple, from shrine to shrine, never letting it fall to ash. They believed that if the sacred flame were kept alive, so too would their people endure. Picture now the rituals of old. A circle of worshippers gathers at night. They walk slowly, carrying candles, each small flame born from the great fire at the center. The darkness all around them is vast, but their lights flicker like stars brought down to earth. When the wind moves, the flames bend as one, yet none are extinguished, and in their soft glow, the people feel peace, for they know the eternal spark cannot die. The flame is a teacher. It shows how light may live within darkness. It shows how warmth may rise, even in the coldest night. It shows how a single spark may become many, how a small beginning may grow into endless fire. It teaches endurance, for though it bends, it does not break. It teaches humility, for though it shines, it consumes only what is given. And it teaches transformation, for all that enters it is changed into light, into heat, into smoke rising skyward. You breathe slowly, watching the flame shift with the currents of air. Your breath seems to join it, as if the fire itself inhales and exhales with you. Each flicker is a reminder that you, too, are made of spark and warmth. The life within you is a flame, tender, precious, yet strong enough to endure the long night. Stories tell of sacred fires that were never allowed to die. In temples, priestesses and guardians tended them through day and night, through storm and silence. They added wood at dawn, herbs at dusk, prayers with every hour. The flame became the heart of the temple, the symbol of life unbroken. It was said that as long as the fire burned, the people would be guided and the gods would remain near. The fire was also a traveler's friend. Those who wandered deserts or forests carried embers with them, hidden in clay jars or wrapped in ash, so that they could light their way again when night returned. To carry fire was to carry safety, to carry the promise that no darkness could swallow all light. Even when storms blew and nights grew long, the ember lived on, waiting to awaken. You look deeper into the flame before you. It crackles softly, a voice both ancient and new. Its movements are unpredictable, yet always graceful. It curls upward, reaching, never falling, never weary. It reminds you that within every living heart is the same longing, to rise, to reach, to shine even for a moment in the great expanse of night. The flame is also a guide. In the myths of many lands, spirits held torches to lead souls across rivers of shadow. Heroes carried fires into caves, where darkness would have swallowed them whole. Sacred lamps were placed upon altars, beside the dead, beside the living, to light the way from one world to the next. The ancients believed that no soul need wander in total darkness, for the eternal flame would always lead it home, and so tonight, as you rest beside this fire, you are guided too. Its glow touches the edges of your mind, softening your thoughts, carrying them gently into calm. Its warmth eases the weight from your body, loosening every place where tension once lived. Its dance lulls your eyes, slower, softer, until even the flicker becomes a dream. Now the flame grows brighter in your vision, though your body grows heavier with rest. It is not the brightness of fire that burns. It is the brightness of spirit that soothes. The flame becomes a star. The star becomes a sun. And then, slowly it becomes a quiet ember, small but eternal, glowing within your chest. The ancients believed that fire was more than light. It was love. It was spirit. It was the breath of gods. To hold it close was to be reminded that you, too, carry eternal light. And though darkness surrounds, though night is long, the flame within you is never lost. It may grow small. It may grow hidden, but it never dies. The fire before you bends low, then lifts again. It seems to bow in farewell. Its glow softens, as if inviting you not to watch but to close your eyes. And let its warmth follow you inward. The flame will not vanish, it will travel with you, a gentle spark glowing through your dreams, guiding you as it has guided countless souls before. Rest now. The flame keeps watch, the night is kind, and the eternal spark burns quietly within you. Let us drift, onward. Let the fire's glow carry you, and let sleep come, warm and safe, as the stars return. The night is calm. The stars glimmer faintly, like silver dust across an endless sky. A hush rests over the land, gentle and complete. Only the sound of your own breath lingers, steady and soft, like the rhythm of waves against a quiet shore. In the dream of this night, the earth opens its secrets. From the roots and stones, from hidden caverns deep below, a figure begins to move. It glides slowly, with patience older than mountains. The serpent has come. It does not arrive with fear. It does not strike or startle. It comes as a teacher, a guide of hidden ways. Its body moves in curves, never straight, coiling and uncoiling, as if it knows that all journeys are circles. It knows that life is not a line, but a spiral. The ancients saw the serpent as a holy sign. Its skin was bright, polished with scales that caught the firelight like jewels. Its motion was silent, flowing as water, bending as wind. They saw in its shape the rivers, the curling shells, the paths of stars across the heavens. Every curve of its body mirrored the patterns of creation itself. You watch the serpent now. Its eyes glow faintly, not with menace but with wisdom. They hold the calm of deep waters, the memory of old earth. When it moves, it leaves no wound upon the ground. It passes lightly, as though carrying the weight of eternity with perfect balance. The serpent sheds its skin. This is its first lesson. The ancients watched it slide free of the old, leaving behind the husk. Pale and empty, from within it emerged renewed, bright once more. They saw in this act the mystery of rebirth. To shed is not to die. It is to begin again. And so they believed that the serpent whispered of healing. That old pain, like old skin, could be left behind. That what is heavy can be laid down. That life, even in endings, is never lost. It only begins again. The serpent curls into a spiral. This is its second lesson. The spiral is the oldest shape, written in seashells, in storms, in galaxies. It is the path that returns but never repeats, the way forward that also circles back. The ancients traced the serpent's spiral upon their temples, upon their stones, upon their dreams. For in that spiral they saw the journey of the soul. You may follow this spiral now. Imagine stepping upon its path, moving slowly inward, circle by circle. Each step draws you closer to the quiet center. Around you, the world falls away. Noise, worry, weight, only stillness remains. Waiting at the heart of the spiral, the serpent moves gently, coiling around you, not to bind but to protect. Its body is a circle of safety, a living wall of patience and care. It hums without sound, a vibration deep within the earth reminding you that you are held, that you are never alone in the night. The ancients told stories of a serpent that encircled the world. It lay across the oceans, its body so vast that its tail touched its mouth. It held creation in balance, keeping sea and land, sky and star in harmony. To them, the serpent was not enemy but guardian, the circle of life itself. For if it ever let go, if it ever broke the circle, all things would fall apart, and so the serpent became the eternal reminder everything is bound. Together, every end meets its beginning, every breath returns to silence, every night gives way to dawn. The serpent also carried the gift of hidden knowledge. In many tales, it guarded sacred springs, holy trees, or buried treasures of wisdom. It was not selfish. It waited, testing those who sought the truth, asking patience, asking courage, asking humility. Only those who listened with quiet hearts could pass the serpent's gaze and drink from the hidden well of knowledge. Imagine the well now. Its waters glimmer in the moonlight, calm and clear. The serpent rests beside it, coiled in silence. Its eyes meet yours, and for a long moment, time is still. Then, slowly, it shifts, allowing you to step forward. You kneel and touch the water. It is cool. It is clean. It reflects the stars above and the flame within. This is the serpent's gift, the knowing that lies beyond words, the wisdom that life is both fragile and eternal, that all things circle and spiral, yet none are ever lost, that within silence truth waits. Like water beneath stone, the serpent glides onward, back into the folds of earth. Its body disappears among roots and shadows, but its presence remains. You feel it in the quiet coil of your breath, in the spiral of your heartbeat, in the gentle shedding of thought as sleep draws near. Now the serpent's spiral opens before you once more. Its path winds outward, not inward. It carries you gently back from the deep well of wisdom, back toward the open night, back toward the stars that shine above. You follow, slow and calm, circle by circle, until you stand again beneath the sky. The air is soft, the ground is steady, and within you, the serpent still coils, quiet, eternal, protective. Its lessons are not left behind. They are carried, like a hidden flame, like a secret song. You rest now within its circle. You feel the safety of its embrace, and as your eyes grow heavy, you know that the spiral will hold you through the night, guiding you gently into dreams. The serpent teaches renewal. It teaches patience. It teaches that life is both cycle and eternity. And now, it teaches rest. Let us drift onward. Let the spiral guide you, and now rest. as the stars return, and the serpent coils quietly within your dreams. The desert is quiet tonight. A vast ocean of sand stretches out in every direction, pale and glowing beneath the moon. The wind is soft, carrying only whispers, as if it does not wish to disturb the silence. Above, the sky opens like a great canvas, endless, eternal. Stars spill across it, shining like scattered jewels, ancient and unblinking. You lie upon the cool sand. Its surface holds the memory of the sun, but the night air has softened it, making it gentle beneath you. Your body feels light, almost weightless, as though the earth itself is holding you in a tender embrace. Your gaze drifts upward, to where the heavens shimmer, to where countless fires burn across the dark. For those who came before, these stars were never empty. They were voices. They were stories. They were guides. Each spark of light held meaning. Each constellation was a thread in the great tapestry of the divine. The ancients did not see distance when they looked up. They saw nearness. They saw the gods watching, the ancestors speaking, the universe alive. The desert tribes gathered at night around quiet fires, their faces turned skyward. They traced patterns with their hands, joining one star to the next, weaving pictures in the dark. A hunter with his bow, a lion crouching low, a goddess pouring water from her jar. The sky was a great mirror, reflecting the dreams of those below. You watch as the stars shift slowly, drifting across the horizon. Their motion is patient, a river of light flowing through eternity. Some rise, new and bright. Others fade into the edge of dawn. The sky is never still, and yet it is always whole. The ancients knew this rhythm. They built temples aligned with the stars. They carved stones so that the rising of one constellation marked the season of harvest, or the time of pilgrimage. They lifted their eyes, not to escape the earth, but to live more deeply upon it. For the heavens spoke of order, of cycles, of balance. They taught that life itself was written in the stars. Now imagine the great constellation of the hunter. His bow is drawn, his form stretched across the sky. To the ancients, he was a reminder of courage, of the chase, of strength in the face of challenge. But tonight, he does not seem fierce. He seems calm, his arrow pointed not to strike but to guide, pointing the way toward the horizon of dreams. Farther above, the serpent of stars winds its body across the sky. Its coils are long, unending, a river of silver light. It reminds you of the cycles you have already walked, the shedding, the spiral, the eternal return. Even in the stars, the serpent teaches, whispering of wisdom that circles both earth and heaven. There is the Great Mother, too, her figure drawn from stars that shimmer faintly, her arms spread wide as though to cradle the world. In her, the ancients saw the giver of life, the endless wellspring of care. They looked to her when the earth was dry, when the harvest was thin, when their hearts longed for comfort. Her stars reminded them that love flows endlessly, like water beneath desert stone. You breathe slowly beneath these constellations. Each star feels near, as though leaning down to watch over you. The night sky becomes a temple without walls, an altar without end. You are small beneath it, yet you are also part of it, one spark among many, a thread woven into the infinite fabric. In the silence, the ancients believed the stars could carry prayers, whispers lifted upward, rising through the cool night air, drifting until they touched the lights above. And from those lights, the gods would answer, not always in words, but in the turning of seasons, in the flowing of rivers, in the quiet guidance of dreams. Tonight, your own breath is prayer. The rise and fall of your chest sends ripples into the night. The stars do not judge. They do not hurry. They only receive, shining softly, listening as they have listened for thousands of years. The desert around you deepens in stillness. The fire of the sun is forgotten. Only the silver glow of moon and stars remains. Your body sinks deeper into rest, as though the sand itself has become a bed prepared only for you. Above, a shooting star drifts slowly, leaving a brief trail of light. The ancients saw such sparks as signs, moments when the heavens leaned close to earth. Some believed them to be souls crossing the sky, Others saw them as messages, brief but bright, carrying meaning too deep for words. For you, it is only a reminder that all things move, all things flow, all things shine in their own time. As your eyes soften, constellations blur together, becoming waves of light across the sky. The hunter, the serpent, the mother, all melt into one great sea of stars. The heavens no longer tell many stories, but one, that all are connected, that every spark belongs, that in the endlessness above, there is always room for rest. The desert is silent. The stars are countless, and within you, a quiet flame of peace begins to glow. It matches the glow above, one light among many, steady and calm. The ancients trusted the stars to guide their paths across trackless sands. They looked upward, and the heavens showed them the way. Tonight, you too are guided, not across the earth, but into the gentle country of dreams. The stars carry you there. Their light a soft road across the sky of sleep. Now the constellations fade. The lines between them dissolve. Only the quiet shimmer remains, endless, eternal, kind. It covers you like a blanket of light. It soothes you like a lullaby sung without sound. The desert breathes with you. The stars breathe with you. And the night itself becomes a slow, steady rhythm, carrying you onward. Rest now beneath the desert sky. The stars are above you, the sand is beneath you, and between them, you are safe, you are held, you are eternal. Let us drift onward. Let the constellations fade gently into dreams. And now rest, as the stars return, and the desert sky cradles you through the night. The night is quiet. The moon rests high, bathing stone and sand in silver. Shadows fall long, stretching like soft veils across the earth. You walk slowly, each step gentle, as though the ground itself were sacred. And there, before you, rises a wall of ancient stone. The surface is worn with age. Wind and time have brushed against it for centuries. Yet carved into its heart, clear and enduring, is a single eye. Its gaze is wide, unblinking, eternal. It does not frighten. It does not accuse. It simply sees. The ancients called it the hidden eye. It appeared in temples, on tombs, upon the crowns of kings. Sometimes it was painted in gold, radiant in the light of the sun. Sometimes it was etched deep into stone, dark and quiet in the shade. Always it watched, a symbol of sight beyond sight, a vision that does not sleep. You rest before this eye. Its silence is deep. Its stillness wraps around you, soft as night air. You feel as though it does not look at you alone, but through you, into what lies beneath the surface, into the soul that rests within. For the ancients, the eye was not only of flesh, it was the mirror of the spirit, the doorway to truth. They believed the God saw not with two eyes but with one, the hidden one, the eternal one, that watched beyond time. This was the eye that saw when all else turned away, the eye that remained open even in the dark. Close your own eyes now, and still you feel it. The gaze of the hidden eye does not fade when you close your lids. It sees in silence. It sees in dreams. It is the light that shines inward, showing paths not lit by flame or sun. In Egypt, it was the eye of Horus, a mark of healing, a promise of protection. Sailors painted it on their ships, so that waters would stay calm. Kings wore it upon their brows, so that judgment would remain clear. It was the eye that guarded life, the eye that restored balance. In temples of the East, the hidden eye rose again, drawn upon foreheads in circles of paint. It was the third vision, the seat of wisdom, the place where spirit meets mind. Those who looked inward through that eye found clarity. They saw not only what is, but what endures, not only form, but essence. And across the deserts, the nomads carved eyes upon stones and amulets. They called them the Watcher, the guard against harm. When storms came, or enemies drew near, the hidden eye was their shield. It saw dangers before they struck. It saw peace waiting beyond the storm. The gaze of the hidden eye is calm, never hurried. It does not rush to judge, nor does it turn away. It lingers, patient, watching as the river of life flows onward. It reminds you that you too may see in this way, without fear, without haste. To look with the hidden eye is to look gently, to see what lies beneath appearances, to know the soul of things. Imagine now that the eye carved in stone begins to glow faintly. Its light is not harsh, not blinding. It is soft like the shimmer of dawn, like the glint of a star on still water. This light does not shine outward, it shines inward, filling the space around you with quiet warmth. You breathe into this glow. With each breath, the eye seems closer, its vision wraps around you, protecting, soothing. Your thoughts, once restless, begin to soften, as though lulled by its steady presence. It sees your fears, but it does not hold them against you. It sees your weariness, and it gathers it into stillness. In the myths, the eye was sometimes lost, stolen, or hidden. Yet always it returned. Always it was restored, for vision cannot vanish. It only rests, waiting to be found again. So too, within you, the inner eye remains, even when forgotten, even when closed. It waits. It never leaves. The ancients taught that this eye is also a flame, not a fire that consumes, but a fire that guides. It is the spark within the heart, the lantern of the soul. When all else is dark, it glows quietly, showing the way forward. Its light cannot be put out, for it does not burn with fuel. It burns with truth. You sit before the eye now, and you feel its flame within. It is gentle, steady, like a candle that never flickers. It does not command, it does not demand. It only reminds you. You are seen, you are known, you are safe. The hidden eye also carries silence. It does not speak, yet its silence is full. It is the silence of a mountain, the silence of stars, the silence that listens more deeply than words can reach. To be seen by it is to be understood without speaking. To rest in its gaze is to know you need no explanation, no defense. Now imagine the eye closing slowly, not in ending but in blessing. As it closes, the world grows even more still. Its light does not vanish, it flows inward, into you, into your chest, into your breath. You carry the hidden eye within now, its vision quiet but eternal. The desert air cools, the moon drifts higher, the stars turn gently, like lanterns across the endless sky. The stone wall stands silent, yet the eye upon it lives within you now, watching, guiding, protecting as you drift. You breathe deeply, the sand beneath you soft, the night around you vast. The hidden eye keeps its watch, both above and within. It will remain open while you rest, so that you may close your own eyes without fear. It will hold your dreams, guard your soul, and lead you deeper into the spiral of sleep. Let us drift onward. Let the hidden eye remain, its gaze a gentle shield, and now rest as the stars return and the silent vision carries you into peace. The night is cool, the air moves gently, like the breath of an unseen spirit. All around the world is still, yet the sound of water flows softly nearby. It is not a rushing river, it is calm, steady like a slow song hummed by the earth itself. You follow this sound, step by step. The moon follows too, resting above the dark horizon, silvering the path before you. The sky is quiet, sprinkled with stars, each one faint and kind, like old lanterns in the distance. And then, at last you see it, the river lies ahead, dark as glass, yet shimmering with pale light. Its surface moves gently, carrying reflections of stars upon its back. It seems less like water, and more like a mirror stretched between two worlds, the world of the living and the world of the unseen. Long ago, the ancients gathered here. They did not come only to drink or to wash. They came because water was more than water. It was a bridge, a passage, a thread that tied earth to heaven. Every drop held a mystery. Every ripple carried a prayer. You step closer to the bank. The air grows cooler, touched by the river's breath. The sand beneath your feet softens. You hear reeds whispering at the edge, moving with the quiet rhythm of the stream. It is here, where earth and water meet, that people once made their offerings. They brought flowers, gathered at dawn, their petals still damp with dew. They placed them gently on the surface, watching them drift away, carried to unseen realms. They offered fruits, sweet and full, Gifts of harvest returned to the spirits who had blessed the land. And they offered words, whispered prayers, spoken not to be heard by men, but to be carried by the current into mystery. Some said the river was a messenger. Whatever touched its flow was taken beyond sight, into the hands of the divine. Others said the river itself was alive, that when flowers touched its skin, it tasted their fragrance, that when prayers floated over its surface, it remembered them, holding them forever. You look now upon the river, and you see faint shapes drifting, not heavy, not solid, but like dreams set afloat. Perhaps they are petals of memory, offerings from long ago that never truly left. They move slowly, without hurry, like thoughts half remembered in the night. The sound of the water soothes you. It is steady, a low murmur, like a voice without words. You breathe with it. Each inhale rises with the flow. Each exhale falls with the current. The rhythm carries you deeper, as though the river itself were drawing you into rest. In some lands, people called these waters sacred mothers. They believed rivers gave life, just as mothers do. From their depths came fish to feed the hungry, reeds to build homes, and water to drink. And so, in gratitude, they returned gifts, flowers, fruits, and the breath of their prayers. In Egypt, offerings were set upon the Nile. To honor gods who walked in hidden ways, priests placed small boats of papyrus upon its surface, carrying lamps that flickered like stars. As the boats drifted, the flames swayed but did not die, carried onward by the endless current. The people watched, and their hearts felt lighter, knowing their prayers now belonged to the river. Far to the east, others cast blossoms of lotus upon the stream. The lotus was more than a flower. It was a sign of purity, of rebirth. To watch it float was to see hope itself carried forward, unspoiled by mud, unbroken by time, and in distant valleys, tribes poured milk and honey into rivers, gifts of sweetness for the unseen. The waters carried their kindness, as though feeding spirits who lived in places eyes could not reach. Always the river accepted. Always the river carried. Now, imagine your own hand holding a flower. Its petals are soft, tender as sleep. You kneel by the bank and place it gently upon the surface. The water does not resist. It welcomes. The flower drifts slowly away, its image shining faintly beneath the moonlight. With it drifts a thought, perhaps a memory, perhaps a feeling. The river accepts both, carrying them onward where you no longer need to hold them. The current is strong, yet gentle. It does not drown what you give. It cradles it, bears it away into peace. The ancients believed rivers remembered, that beneath their waters every offering lived on. Even the smallest whisper was not lost. It flowed onward, deeper, until it reached the sea of the divine, and from there it returned in blessings, rain falling on crops, dew shining on grass, dreams rising in the quiet of night. You rest by the bank. The reeds sway softly. The night grows cooler, the sky deeper. The river sings, its voice low and endless. You feel safe here, as though guarded by its gentle flow. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine drifting upon the river itself. Your body light. Carried without effort, you move slowly with the current. Stars glide above you, their reflections shimmering below. It feels as though you are floating between two skies, one above, one beneath. The air smells faintly of water, sweet and clean. The sound of the current cradles you, soft as a lullaby. You let go, and the river carries you farther and farther, until even thought becomes weightless. In the silence, you remember the old belief that water is memory, and memory is offering. All that you release into the river is held, never lost. It drifts beyond sight, yet remains in the great circle of life. Nothing given is wasted. Every gift finds its way home. The ancients knew this truth, that when their hands released blossoms, or fruits, or whispered words, they were not gone. They had only crossed into the unseen, into the hands of powers that listened in silence. So too, when you let go now, your thoughts, your weariness, they are not lost. They are carried. They are transformed. The current continues. Slow, steady, eternal. The moon glides across the sky, and the stars wheel slowly, their light mirrored in the river's face. The air grows cooler still. The reeds bend gently, swaying like sleepers breathing. The offerings of ages long past float beside you, petals, fruits, small flames, soft prayers. They do not fade. They drift quietly, endlessly, in the eternal current, and so the river whispers its blessing, rest, be carried, be at peace. Now let the river hold you too. Let it carry the weight of your day. Let it cradle your thoughts, drifting them into silence. For the river does not end. It flows beyond time, beyond sight, into the stillness of the unseen. Let us drift onward. The river of offerings remains, flowing ever gently. Now rest as the stars return, and the current carries you into sleep. The night is still. Above, the sky spreads wide, a dark ocean filled with quiet stars. The air is cool, touched by a gentle wind that brushes your face like a kind hand. Somewhere far away, an owl calls once, then falls silent again. The world is hushed, waiting. In this silence, a shape drifts into thought. It is not bound by earth. It is light, effortless, moving as though the air itself carries it. Wings, great wings, outstretched, the symbol of spirit, of freedom, of the soul rising beyond the weight of stone and soil. For as long as people have watched the skies, wings have been a sign of hope. They looked to falcons that soared over deserts and believed their flight was a prayer made visible. They saw doves circle above water and felt their hearts lifted toward peace. They imagined angels with white feathers that shone brighter than the moon, protectors who glided between heaven and earth. You breathe softly now. Each breath feels lighter than the last. And with each breath, you sense the stirring of invisible wings, wings not of flesh, but of spirit. They rise quietly from your back, unfolding in silence, feathers of light.
Stretching, shimmering, the feeling is gentle.
Like silk brushing against your skin. The ancients believed wings were gifts of the gods. They were not only for flight, but for vision. To soar above the earth was to see farther, to see the world as only spirits could. And so the falcon became sacred, a teacher of clarity, a guide for kings and seekers. Its eyes missed nothing. Its wings carried it higher than fear could follow. In Egypt, the falcon was Horus, the sky god, whose wings stretched over both desert and river. He watched, he guarded, he ruled. Pharaohs wore his wings carved into gold upon their crowns, to remind them that their power was not only of earth, but of the endless sky above. In Mesopotamia, carvings showed winged beings, half human, half divine, who moved between heaven and the mortal world. Their wings did not tire, nor falter. They were guardians of doorways, of temples, of hidden knowledge. To see their wings was to know you were safe, watched over by forces greater than the eye could see. And in the stories of angels, wings spread like dawn. They were not weapons, but promises, that no soul was ever truly bound to the earth, that every heart could one day rise, lifted on feathers of faith into the endless light. Now imagine yourself standing on a quiet hill. The earth is soft beneath your feet, the night wide above you. Your shoulders feel lighter, your back softens, and there, in the quiet, your wings unfold again. They are vast, yet gentle. Their feathers shimmer faintly, silver beneath the stars. You take a breath. The wings move with you. They rise as you inhale. They lower as you exhale. Slow, steady like the rhythm of sleep itself. With each breath, they grow stronger, not heavy, but alive. They do not pull you down. They lift you, and then, with no effort, you are no longer bound to the hill. Your feet leave the earth, and you begin to drift upward. The air holds you, kind and steady. The wings guide you. You rise softly, like a leaf carried by wind. Below you, the world grows smaller, quieter. The rivers glimmer like silver threads. The trees become gentle shadows. The desert sands glow faintly, as though the moon has touched them with its hand. From here, the world looks peaceful, vast, unbroken. You glide higher. The stars above seem closer now. They do not burn harshly, but glow with a calm, steady warmth. Their light touches your wings, and the feathers catch it, scattering silver across the sky. The ancients told of souls that became birds when they left the body. They said the soul could take flight, soaring toward the horizon, free of weight, free of sorrow. To them, wings were not just symbols, they were promises, that the spirit was never trapped, that beyond struggle, beyond time, there was always flight. In Greece, they told of Nike, the winged spirit of victory, who moved swifter than any wind. Her wings lifted her beyond fear, beyond doubt. She was not bound to earth, and so she could bring strength to those who needed it most. In far lands, shamans painted wings upon caves, believing they could help the spirit travel during dreams. To them, wings were pathways, not bound by stone walls or sleeping bodies. To dream of wings was to touch the freedom of the soul. Now, as you drift higher still, you feel that same freedom. Your wings do not tire. They move with ease, each feather catching the air like a lullaby. The higher you rise, the lighter you feel. Thoughts fall away, like stones dropped into the river below. Only calm remains, only the wide, silent sky. You tilt your wings and glide. The air whispers past you, cool and soft. The stars surround you now, not far, but near, like lanterns glowing at arm's reach. Their light feels gentle, protective. They do not blind. They soothe. You notice other wings in the distance. Some vast, some small falcons gliding silently, doves circling slowly, shapes too bright to name, wings of light moving without sound. They are not strangers. They are companions of the sky. You feel no fear, only peace. Together, all wings move with the same rhythm, the rhythm of the spirit at rest. Your wings carry you farther, not away, but deeper into silence, into calm, into a sky that seems endless, yet close as your own breath. The feathers glow faintly, each one a star in itself. They do not fall. They remain steady and strong, yet softer than any dream. Your body feels lighter still, until even the thought of weight drifts away. Here, high above, the world is quiet. Here, wings are more than wings. They are the soul's reminder that it is never trapped, never bound. It can always rise, it can always rest in the open sky. The ancients carved wings into stone to remind themselves. They painted them on walls, wove them into cloth, placed them upon crowns, not only to show flight, but to show protection. For wings do not only lift, they also shield. They fold gently around the weary, covering them in safety, like a mother bird covering her young. And so your wings fold now, slowly, tenderly. They wrap around you, not to trap, but to comfort. Feathers close around your body like a cloak of light. You feel warm, safe, hidden in their embrace. The stars above shimmer softly. The earth below rests quietly. You are between them, wrapped in wings, carried in peace. The river of your breath flows steadily. The sky of your spirit shines gently, and the wings of your soul protect you, now and always. Let them cradle you as you drift into rest. Let them remind you that you are safe, free, eternal. For wings are not bound by time. They move across worlds, across dreams, across silence. Now let us drift onward, higher into calm skies. The wings of the spirit remain with you, strong, soft, eternal. Now rest as the stars return, and the feathers of faith carry you into sleep. Beneath the dim glow of twilight, where the last colors of the day softened into shades of blue and silver, the sacred knot appeared in the mind's eye. It did not shine loudly. It did not demand to be noticed. It rested, woven with quiet patience, as though it had always been there. A thread across time, binding the breath of earth to the silence of heaven. You stand at the edge of a forgotten temple courtyard. The air is still, and a single candle burns beside a stone pillar, its flame bending ever so slightly with the night wind. At your feet, carved into the stone, lies a pattern of endless loops, circles within circles, knots within knots. No beginning, no end. The ancients called this the thread of eternity, a sign that all things, once woven, remain forever bound. The knot is more than rope or cord. It is memory made visible. It is the silent bridge between what is seen and what is unseen. Its lines remind you that life does not move straight but turns, bends, and returns, folding back upon itself like the curves of a river that finds the sea. Long ago, in the hush of mountain caves, priests tied knots to carry prayers. A single loop was for a safe journey, a double loop for the birth of a child, a woven cord of 7 twists for the soul's peace after death. When words were too fragile, the knot was stronger. When the voice faltered, the cord held the message, safe in its hidden curves. Some knots were worn as amulets, resting against the chest, close to the rhythm of the heart. Others were bound to temple doors to guard the passage between the sacred and the everyday. In some lands, whole stories were carried in cords, each knot a memory, each loop a moment. They were books without ink, songs without sound, histories woven not on pages, but in strands. The knot, in its silence, spoke of connection. It told of a truth that the ancients never doubted, that no spirit walks alone, no life ends without touching another, no breath escapes without weaving into the great tapestry. Close your eyes and imagine your fingers moving over a cord. The fiber is soft, warm with the oils of countless hands before yours. As you trace it, you find a knot tied with care. You pause, and in that knot you sense a prayer, a small, hidden hope left long ago. The cord moves on, and again another knot, another prayer, another soul remembered. The cord is endless, filled with the lives of those who came before. The ancients believed that to untie a knot was to release a blessing. A tight knot, when opened, freed the spirit of its prayer into the wind. In this way, knots were not only bindings, but also gifts waiting to be opened. Some were never undone, left to guard their mysteries forever, like stars that burn but never fall. Think of the stars themselves, how they scatter across the night sky. From far away, they seem separate, but connect them, and constellations appear. The ancients saw these star knots above them, binding heaven into patterns, giving shape to mystery. The knot below mirrored the knot above, rope and light, fiber and flame, earth and sky woven together. In the temples of Egypt, cords were tied around statues of the gods, not to bind them, but to connect them. The knot was a sign that the spirit within the stone could hear the prayer of the worshipper. In the monasteries of Tibet, monks tied endless knots, each loop a meditation, each curve a quiet breath. In the forests of the Celts, woven patterns carved into stones marked places where earth and spirit met. Across lands and centuries, the knot returned again and again, carrying its secret of unity. The sacred knot was never about holding tight. It was about remembering. The knot said, "You belong." It whispered, "Nothing is ever lost." Now, breathe slowly, as though weaving your own thread. Picture a cord stretching before you. With every breath in, a loop forms. With every breath out, it folds gently back. The knot takes shape, not hurried, not forced. It grows naturally as life does, as dreams do. You are both the thread and the hand that ties it. You are the maker and the pattern. The knots you form are not burdens. They are promises. A promise that peace can return. A promise that love, once given, is never gone. A promise that even in silence, something greater is listening. As you trace this invisible cord, notice how it winds through your memories. A face you once knew, a moment of kindness, a word spoken softly, all tied together, each loop touching another, until you see that your life is a pattern, beautiful in its weaving, whole in its mystery. The ancients spoke of the final knot, the binding of body to spirit at the moment of death. This was not seen as an end, but as the most sacred tie of all. A knot so strong no blade could cut it, no time could loosen it. It bound the soul to eternity, carrying it safely to the unseen realms. To die, they said, was only to be woven into a larger tapestry. And so, the knot was carved into tombs, painted on urns, etched into jewelry laid upon the chest of the departed. It was the last message. You are bound to the eternal. You cannot be lost. As the night deepens around you, see the sacred knot once more. It glows faintly in the starlight. Each loop soft as silver, each curve gentle as a river bend. You lean closer and the knot seems to move as though breathing with you. The more you watch, the more you see that the knot is endless, flowing out into the distance, beyond temples, beyond mountains, beyond the stars. You are not separate from it. You are part of it. Your breath is one thread, your dreams another. You are woven into the great fabric, secure and at peace. The candle at the edge of the courtyard flickers lower. The night is still. The sacred knot remains, eternal and calm, whispering of unity, of love, of memory that cannot be broken. Let its pattern cradle you as a soft blanket cradles a resting body. Let its loops carry you deeper into quiet. The knot holds you gently, and in its endless weaving you are safe. Now let the stars above become threads of silver, weaving into the dream of your sleep. Let the earth below become cords of warmth, holding you steady. The knot will not loosen. It will not fall apart. It will carry you. Rest as the sacred knot glows in silence. Rest as its patterns fold into your dreams. Rest and drift onward, bound to eternity, bound to peace. A spiral path led inward, not outward. Cults of old built labyrinths as journeys of the soul. Tonight we walk slowly through them, step by step, into the quiet center. The night rests heavy with silence. The moon is pale and gentle, hanging above like a silver lantern. The air is cool, carrying the faintest sound of crickets, steady as a heartbeat. Before you lies an ancient stone courtyard, half covered in moss, half bathed in moonlight. At the heart of the courtyard, etched into the earth, lies a labyrinth. Its curves are soft and unbroken. Its path spirals inward, circling again and again, until it reaches a still, hidden center. The pattern glows faintly in the light of the stars, as though it remembers every step ever taken upon it. This labyrinth is not a maze. It does not trick. It does not hide. It is a single winding path. It always leads to the heart. The ancients believed that to walk the labyrinth was to walk into the soul itself, step by step, breath by breath, circle by circle. You place your foot gently upon the first stone. The path is smooth from countless journeys before. Each turn draws you inward. Each step is slower than the last, as though time itself bends inside the spiral. The air deepens. The silence thickens. The night seems to draw you closer. The labyrinth is not about reaching the end. It is about the journey itself. In Greece, it was said to mirror the myth of the Minotaur's maze, where heroes entered the darkness to face themselves. But in sacred cults and temples, the labyrinth held no monster, no fear. It was not a place of danger, but of return. It was the slow unraveling of noise, of worry, of burden, until the soul reached its quiet center. In Crete, priests carved labyrinths upon clay tablets and temple walls. They believed the spiral path echoed the turning of the stars, the circling of seasons, the cycle of life and death. To enter was to follow the rhythm of the universe itself. In Celtic groves, labyrinths were traced on the grass with stones and flowers. Villagers would walk them during festivals, holding hands, their steps weaving prayers into the earth. They said that to walk the spiral was to walk with the gods, to feel the pulse of the world beneath your feet. In the temples of early Christians, labyrinths were laid into floors of great cathedrals. Pilgrims who could not travel to Holy Lands instead walked the labyrinth, each circle a journey across deserts, seas, and mountains, not of the body, but of the spirit. And in far lands across oceans, similar spirals appeared, carved into cliffs, drawn into sand, hidden in sacred caves. Always the same pattern, always the same circle, as though humanity itself carried this symbol deep within. Now you walk slowly, turning again. The labyrinth winds to the left, then to the right. It carries you closer, then draws you away, then closer again. The path is never straight. It teaches patience. It teaches breath. It teaches trust. Each curve feels like a thought, each turn like a memory. The path moves, just as the mind moves, circling, wandering, returning. Step by step, you walk not only across the stones, but through yourself. The ancients said the labyrinth was a mirror of the heart. To walk it was to untangle the cords of the spirit, to find the place where silence waited, not to escape, but to arrive, not to get lost, but to be found. The air grows softer. The night deepens. The moonlight bends along the curves. You are not hurried. There is no end to chase. You follow the line, slow as water flowing over stone. The labyrinth begins to carry you inward. The outer circles fall behind. The center calls, though it does not shout. It waits with the patience of centuries. It knows you will arrive. Some ancient cults believed that the center of the labyrinth was the navel of the world, the place where heaven touched the earth. To step into it was to step into the sacred. To step into it was to be remade. Imagine the voices of those who walked before. Their footsteps whisper beneath yours. Their breaths drift with the night air. A farmer seeking peace after the day's toil. A priest is carrying prayers in silence, a child tracing the path with wonder. They are gone, yet their journey lingers. The labyrinth holds them. Every labyrinth remembers. The stones are old, but the path is always new. No two walks are the same, yet each arrives at the same heart. The spiral is a symbol older than time. Galaxies spiral through the heavens. Shells spiral in the sea. Vines spiral as they grow. The labyrinth is not only carved by human hands, it is carved by creation itself. Now your steps are smaller. The circles tighten. The path pulls you near to the center. The silence deepens, like the hush before dawn. And then, you arrive. The heart of the labyrinth lies before you, a still circle of stone. No markings, no altar. Only space, empty yet full, silent yet alive. This is the center the ancients spoke of, the place beyond the noise, the place where all paths end and begin again. You stand here. You breathe. Nothing more is needed. The labyrinth teaches one last truth. The journey does not end at the center. You must walk outward again. The same path, the same turns, but now with a quieter heart. The way out is not escape, but return. You carry the silence with you, step by step, into the world beyond. And so, when the ancients left the labyrinth, they did not leave its peace behind. They walked with it. They carried its center within themselves, tied into their spirit like a hidden knot. Now in the softness of night, the labyrinth closes around you like a dream. Its curves melt into mist. Its stones fade into shadow. But the center remains, deep within you, steady and calm. You drift back into the stillness of your resting body. The labyrinth remains woven in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the silence behind your thoughts. Rest now, as the path coils into dream. Rest now as the spiral folds inward. Rest now as the hidden labyrinth carries you into sleep. Let us drift onward, into the quiet center, symbols of guidance and power. These staffs were held by priests and seekers. We lean on them gently, feeling their weight as a reminder that the spirit always has a guide. The night is soft around you. A silver moon rises above still fields. The air is cool, carrying the faintest breath of wind, gentle as a whisper. In this quiet hour, your steps fall upon ancient ground, where stones are worn smooth by the touch of countless pilgrims. Before you rests a staff. It leans against a worn altar of stone, waiting, as if left by a traveler long ago. The wood is old, yet it does not break. Its surface shines faintly, polished by hands that once held it with care. You lift it. The weight is steady, not heavy but grounding. It feels as though the earth itself flows into your palm. This is no weapon. It is a companion, a guide. With each step, it reminds you that you are not alone. Across the ages, staffs and rods have carried meaning far beyond their shape. They were more than wood or bronze, more than carved stone. They were lines drawn between heaven and earth, carried in the hands of those who sought the path. In Egypt, priests held staffs topped with symbols of life and eternity. The crook and the flail rested in the hands of kings, signs that they guided not only bodies but souls. To the people, the staff was the shepherd's rod, bending to protect, rising to lead. In the deserts of Israel, a shepherd leaned on his rod beneath the stars. In time, the rod came to mean comfort and strength, a reminder that the journey through shadows was not walked in fear. The staff was both walking stick and signpost of trust. In Greece, the caduceus twined with serpents rested in the hands of Hermes, messenger between realms. It was not only a staff of travel, but of healing, carrying balance and renewal wherever it was seen. In faraway lands, shamans lifted staffs carved with feathers and stones. They planted them in the ground to call upon unseen powers, asking for rain, for wisdom, for protection. Always the staff was a bridge between earth and sky, between the seeker and the unseen. You walk now, leaning gently on the staff. Its rhythm joins your breath. Tap step, tap step. Each sound is soft, joining the chorus of the night. The staff teaches balance. One hand holds the rod, the other swings free. One foot lifts, the other rests. Each step finds its place, guided by the steady weight. The ancients believed the staff was the axis of the body like the spine, upright and true. To carry it was to carry your center, your strength, your alignment with what is unseen. Some staffs were plain, cut from olive wood or cedar, polished smooth by years of travel. Others bore carvings, spirals, knots, the faces of gods. Yet no matter how humble or adorned, Each staff whispered the same truth. You are guided. You are supported. Imagine a priest walking through torchlight, his rod leading him into the temple. Imagine a traveler crossing mountains, leaning on his staff with every climb. Imagine an old woman walking to the well, her staff steadying her steps. Each one carries the same truth. The staff is not only in the hand, it is in the heart. The rod of guidance appears in dreams too. Some say when you are lost in the mind, the staff comes quietly to lead you back. It points the way, not in words, but in presence. You lean upon it, and the ground feels firmer beneath you. Now the moonlight falls across your path. You walk deeper into stillness, staff in hand. Each tap is an anchor. Each step is a breath. The rod is not only guidance, but also protection. In fields of sheep, it was lifted against danger. In myths, it parted seas, it struck stone, it opened hidden ways, not through force, but through faith. The staff reminds you that power is not in striking, but in standing. It is not in forcing, but in holding steady. And so you walk on, not hurried, not lost. The path curves, the night deepens, but the staff remains with you. Think of the staffs that marked holy ground. Some were planted upright in the soil, forming poles that joined the earth to the sky. Around them, people gathered. Fires were lit, songs were sung. The staff, once a walking rod, became a pillar, a meeting place, a center of prayer. In Norse lands, seers lifted staffs when they spoke with the unseen. Their rods were carved with runes, each line a spell of memory. In distant deserts, prophets lifted their rods to call down rain, to part waters, to draw circles of protection in the sand. The staff was never silent. It always spoke, not in words but in presence. Now the air grows cooler. A soft wind passes through unseen branches. You pause, leaning gently on the staff. The world is still. The staff is not only something you hold, it is also something that holds you. It is a reminder that you are guided by hands beyond your own. The ancients called these hands gods or spirits or ancestors, but the word matters less than the truth. You are not alone. The staff tells you this with every step. The rod comforts you when the way is dark. The staff guides you when the path is uncertain. The rod steadies you when you stumble. You close your eyes for a moment. In the darkness behind your lids, you see the rod as light. A column stretching upward, a root reaching downward. A connection between what is above and what is below. In that vision, you lean upon it. It holds you. It carries you. It tells you that the path is safe. When you open your eyes again, the moon has shifted slightly. The stars are brighter. The staff is still in your hand. Its presence has not left you. Now the journey slows. The staff no longer needs to tap. It simply rests, steady and still. The night wraps itself around you like a cloak. The earth beneath your feet softens as though it welcomes you into its silence. The rod has carried you far. Yet its lesson is simple. It whispers that you may let go. That guidance is always near, even when the hand releases. You lean the staff gently against a stone, as it was when you found it. It stands upright as though it breathes. It waits for another seeker, another night. The path is quiet now. The staff has done its work, yet its presence lingers in your heart, as if you still feel its weight in your palm. You know now that guidance is always near. You know now that the Spirit has its shepherd, its pillar, its rod. Even in the stillness of sleep, it stands beside you. So rest now. Rest as the moon moves across the sky. Rest as the staff remains, steady in its place. Rest as the Spirit leans gently on unseen strength. Let us drift onward, carried by the rod of peace. Pillars stood at the entrance of mysteries, two silent guardians of wisdom. We rest between them, letting their still strength soothe the restless mind. The night is fading. Stars grow pale as the horizon softens with the first touch of light. A breath of dawn moves gently across the earth, cool and calm, like the sigh of a sleeping sea. You stand before a great doorway, and there, rising tall against the sky, are two silent pillars. They are carved of stone, ancient and unmoving. Their surfaces glow faintly in the gray light of morning, holding shadows that slowly give way to gold. They do not speak, and yet they speak in silence. They do not move, and yet they guide your steps. You pause between them, feeling their still strength. One on your left, one on your right, balanced, equal, eternal. The world behind you grows dim. The world before you begins to open. Between the two pillars, there is a passage. Between them, there is peace. Across the ages, Twin pillars have marked the entrance to holy ground. In temples of the East, they rose like trees of stone, guarding gates of prayer. In stories of the West, they stood at the threshold of mystery, towers of balance, towers of truth. In Egypt, some said the pillars were carved in honor of the rising and setting sun. One held the memory of yesterday, the other the promise of tomorrow, and between them the traveler stood in the stillness of now. In the lands of Israel, stories tell of pillars of cloud and fire that led the people through desert paths, one in the day, one in the night, a twin presence, guiding, guarding, never leaving. In temples of Solomon, two great pillars rose at the entrance, each with its own name, not only stone but symbol, one for strength, one for stability. They held the weight of heaven's mystery, yet stood open for those who sought wisdom. You lean softly against the air between them. Their silence steadies you. Their balance soothes you. These are not barriers. They are guardians, standing watch at the edge of the unknown. One pillar speaks of beginning. The other whispers of completion. One holds the rising sun, the other the setting. One recalls the seed, the other the fruit. They do not argue. They do not compete. Together, they hold the rhythm of life, and you rest between them. The dawn deepens now. Light spills across the stone. The sky blooms with gentle color, first pale silver, then the softest rose, then a glow of gold. The pillars catch the light, their shadows long and cool. You breathe with them, slow, steady, still. Each breath rises like the left pillar. Each breath falls like the right. Inhale, exhale. Balance held between two guardians. The ancients believed that to pass between the pillars was to step into the sacred. Beyond them lay mysteries unseen by ordinary eyes. Beyond them was the temple, the heart, the holy flame. But the pillars themselves were not obstacles. They were reminders. They whispered that before you seek, you must be still. Before you enter, you must remember balance. Imagine a traveler at the gate of dawn. He comes weary from the night, staff in hand, dust on his feet. He stands before the twin pillars, unsure of what lies beyond. Yet as he rests between them, his heart softens. He feels both held and free. The pillars do not command him forward, nor push him back. They simply stand eternal, unmoved. In their stillness, he finds courage. In their balance, he finds peace. And when the sun rises higher, he steps beyond them, carrying their lesson within his soul. You remain here, in the soft quiet between the pillars. Their meaning becomes your own. The pillar on the left holds memory, all that has been. The pillar on the right holds promise, all that is yet to come. And you standing between are the breath of the present. Neither past nor future can weigh on you now. You are held in balance. You are guided by stillness. The myths of many lands speak of two guardians at the threshold. Some are carved of stone, some shaped as lions, as birds, as serpents. Yet always they come in pairs. Always they stand at the gate. Always they remind the traveler, step in peace, step in balance. To rest between the twin pillars is to be watched over. To sleep between them is to dream safely. Their strength does not waver. Their watch does not end. The morning air grows warmer now. The sky brightens into blue. Still the pillars rise, silent and calm. Close your eyes for a moment. In your mind, see the pillars glowing with soft light, one of silver, one of gold. One cool as moonlight, one warm as flame. Between them is a doorway. Yet the doorway does not rush you. It does not demand you pass. It simply opens, waiting, patient, eternal. You drift in the space between, not pulled, not pressed, simply held. The ancients called this space the threshold, the meeting place. Between the twin pillars, all is balanced. Between them, shadow and light find harmony. Now the dawn has come. The sun rises gently above the horizon, its rays brushing the tops of the pillars. They shine now, bathed in morning gold. Their shadows shorten, but their presence remains unmoved. As the world wakes, you remain calm. Between the pillars, you are sheltered. Between them, you are whole. The restless mind begins to soften. Like the earth at sunrise, it grows quiet, steady, clear. The pillars soothe your thoughts, holding them like stones in still water. In the old myths, the twin pillars were not only stone, they were symbols of the inner world. The right pillar was strength, the left was mercy. Together they balanced the heart. Too much of one, and the path leaned too far. Too little of the other, and the way grew narrow. But together they stood, upright, equal. And the seeker who learned their lesson carried peace wherever he went. Now you drift further inward. The pillars are no longer only before you, they rise within you. Two guardians, steady at the gates of your heart. They hold you safe as you wander into rest. Your thoughts slow, like sand falling gently to the ground. Your breath deepens, steady as stone. The pillars watch in silence, and you are free to let go. The day beyond the pillars will come in its time. The temple doors will open when they must. But for now, you remain here, in the quiet, in the balance, between strength and stillness. The twin pillars stand unmoving. They have stood for ages. They will stand for ages more. And you, resting between them, are held by their calm eternity. So let the pillars guard your dreams. Let their silence soothe your heart. Let their balance cradle you into sleep. Now rest as the dawn deepens. Now rest as the twin pillars watch over you. Now rest as the stars fade and the morning sky becomes soft with light. Let us drift onward between the pillars of peace. The moon was a mother, a mystery, a mirror of hidden truths. In this chapter, we follow her phases, watching her soft silver veil guide us into sleep. Night drapes itself over the world, soft as silk. The air is hushed. The trees stand like dark sentinels, and the waters of the earth rest under the calm of the heavens. High above, the moon rises, veiled in silver light. Her glow is not the blaze of the sun. It is gentle, patient, quiet. She does not blind the eyes. She soothes them. She does not command. She invites. She wears her veil of light like a mother placing a blanket over her child, soft and protective. You stand beneath her, feeling her presence. She is both near and far, both watcher and companion. The night bends around her radiance and shadows soften in her silver breath. The ancients looked to the moon as a guide. To them she was more than a sphere of stone in the heavens. She was a goddess, a guardian, a cycle written into the sky. In the lands of Greece, she was Selene, who rode a chariot of silver across the dark sea of the night. Her hair streamed behind her like moonbeams. Her crown lit the path of dreamers. When she passed, the earth glowed with her tender gaze. In Egypt, she was Thoth, scribe of wisdom, whose moonlight recorded every secret of time. The moon measured the days, the seasons, the lives of men. She kept count when the sun was away, guarding the hours with her soft flame. In India, she was Chandra, the shining one, carried in a crystal chariot, nourisher of herbs, keeper of coolness. Farmers and seekers alike bowed to her, for her phases marked the flow of water, growth, and breath. In all lands, she was more than light. She was a veil stretched across the sky, reminding those who wandered in the dark that they were not alone. The moon waxes. She grows full. She wanes. She disappears. Each phase is a breath of her eternal rhythm. Each is a teaching written in silver script. When she is new, the sky is dark. Only a thin line marks her presence. She whispers of beginnings hidden in silence, of seeds planted deep in soil, of mysteries not yet revealed. When she waxes, she grows brighter, fuller, stronger. She tells of journeys unfolding, of paths opening, of lives ripening in their season. Her light spreads gently, not rushing, not forcing, just growing as all things must grow. When she is full, her veil is lifted completely. She pours her light over the waters, over the forests, over the sleeping towns. The earth glows like a pearl in her gaze. She whispers of fullness, of completeness, of resting in the abundance of now. Then she wanes. Slowly her veil closes again. Shadows deepen. She speaks of release, of letting go, of returning to rest. She fades not in sorrow but in peace, for she knows she will rise again, renewed. So the moon teaches us to trust the rhythm, to trust the hidden, the growing, the ripening, the fading. She teaches that all things move in cycles, that endings are never endings, but soft beginnings veiled in shadow. You walk now under her silver light. The air is cool, touched by her hand. The earth is calm, softened by her glow. Your steps are quiet as though the world itself listens to her song. The moon does not shout. She does not burn. She glides with grace like a mother moving through a sleeping house. Her presence is enough. You pause by a still lake. The moon's reflection rests upon the water, shimmering like a second world. It is as though the heavens have leaned down to kiss the earth. The veil of the moon is both above and below. You are wrapped in it, held in it, soothed by it. In old stories, The moon was also a mirror. She did not create her own light. She borrowed it from the sun, softened it, and gave it back to the earth. In this way, she reminded mortals that reflection, too, is a kind of gift. The moon shows what is hidden. She draws silver paths across dark waters. She lifts shadows just enough to guide the wanderer. She does not reveal everything at once, but only what is needed. So too, the soul is like the moon. It holds no burning sun of its own, yet it reflects the eternal flame. And in reflection, it shines. You close your eyes, and in your mind you see the phases of the moon moving slowly. A dark circle, a sliver of silver, a swelling glow, a perfect round pearl. Then a slow fading, a return to quiet shadow. It is a wheel that never ends, a wheel that turns without hurry, a rhythm that carries all living things. The ancients watched this wheel to measure time. Farmers planted by it, priests prayed by it. Sailors followed its path across the sea. Lovers counted nights beneath its glow. And sleepers, like you, found comfort in its gentle watch. The moon is also a veil of protection. In some myths, she is the mother who covers the earth while it dreams. Her veil shields the sleeper from the burning of the day. It cools fevered thoughts. It quiets the heart. Think of her veil now, falling softly over you. A silver fabric, light as mist, wrapping you in its calm. The moon does not press heavy upon you. She does not bind. She simply covers, like dew upon a meadow, like silk upon skin, like breath upon glass. Under her veil, you are safe. Many have called the moon a guardian of dreams. In some tales, she was said to open the gates of the dream world, guiding the soul into hidden realms. Her light was the path, her veil the doorway. To follow her was to walk into mystery, into rest, into the soft land where spirit drifts. Perhaps as you breathe now, you feel that path beneath your feet. Slow, gentle, each breath a step deeper into dream, each breath guided by the veil of the moon. She leads you not to noise, but to stillness, not to questions, but to rest. The night deepens, but you do not feel lost. For the moon walks with you. She changes, but she does not leave. Her veil is always present, even when hidden. When she vanishes into darkness, she whispers that silence is also sacred. When she glows in fullness, she whispers that light is also sacred. She teaches that both are needed. Both are holy, so you learn from her the art of balance. To shine, yet not to burn. To fade, yet not to vanish. To come, to go, to return again, always in rhythm, always in peace. Now the hours drift onward. The moon glides across the sky, slow and calm. Her veil thins, then thickens. Shadows stretch, then soften. She is never hurried, never late. She keeps her own time, her own rhythm. And as you breathe with her, your body finds its own rhythm too. The rise of your chest is her waxing. The fall is her waning. The pause between is her stillness. You are one with her cycle now. Soon the night will give way to dawn. The stars will fade. The veil of the moon will thin until the sun takes her place. Yet even then she does not vanish. She only rests, hidden, waiting for night to call her back. So too your soul rests now. Even in silence it is not gone. Even in sleep it is not lost. It only drifts, hidden under the silver veil, until it rises again, renewed. The lake before you is still. The air is cool. The moon's reflection lingers upon the water, soft and endless. Her veil surrounds you and you are at peace. Now rest, as the moon carries her watch. Now rest as her silver veil closes over your thoughts. Now rest as her gentle light guides you into sleep. Let us drift onward, carried beneath the veil of the moon. Cups, chalices, and bowls held offerings of water, wine, and light. We imagine holding such a vessel, its roundness reminding us of fullness and peace. The night is quiet. Shadows stretch long, softened by starlight. In the stillness, a vessel rests upon a stone altar, its surface catching the glow of moon and flame. It is simple, yet complete. A circle carved by patient hands, smooth, rounded, whole. The air around it is hushed, as though the vessel holds more than water, more than wine, more than offering. It holds silence. It holds prayer. It holds the breath of those who stood before, whispering their hopes into its rim. You draw nearer. The vessel waits, unhurried, timeless. Its open mouth is like the night sky, welcoming, endless, ready to hold whatever is poured into it. Across the ancient world, Vessels were sacred in temples, in caves, in desert shrines. They stood like guardians of devotion. They caught the first water of dawn. They carried oil for lamps, keeping the flame alive through the long dark. They held the harvest's wine, red as sunset, poured in gratitude back to the gods. In Egypt, golden bowls gleamed in candlelight, filled with milk and honey for the spirits of the Nile. In Greece, chalices lifted during sacred feasts echoed the laughter of gods and mortals alike. In Celtic lands, great cauldrons shimmered with myth, said to feed all who came, never empty, always giving. The vessel was never only clay or metal. It was a mirror of the soul itself, empty until filled. Fragile yet enduring, simple yet holy. The roundness of the vessel carried meaning. There were no sharp edges, no broken lines. Its curve was a symbol of the world itself, of wholeness, of cycles without end. To hold such a vessel was to hold the seasons, spring, rain, summer wine, autumn harvest. Winter snow melted into water. Every drop it carried was part of a greater circle. Every sip was a reminder that life itself is poured out, then gathered again. You imagine lifting the vessel now. Its weight is steady in your hands, cool against your palms, its rim smooth like river stone. Within it is clear water, still and shining. When you look, you see the reflection of stars, a tiny universe caught in its circle. You breathe, and the water trembles, as if alive. You tilt the vessel gently. A single drop spills, gliding to the earth. It vanishes, yet it is not lost. It returns to the soil, to the root, to the hidden rivers below. The vessel teaches, what is given is never gone. The ancients poured libations, offerings poured to the unseen. They believed that to pour was to speak, without words, to the sky, to the ground, to the spirits that listened in silence. Wine was poured for joy, water for purity, milk for nurturing, oil for light. Each vessel, lifted, was a prayer made visible. It was the hand's way of saying what the heart felt, but could not speak. You see now how the vessel is not only for holding, it is for giving. It teaches generosity. It teaches release. It teaches that what you carry, you may also share. In some stories, the vessel was endless, a cup that never ran dry, a bowl that fed all who came, a cauldron of rebirth, from which souls emerged renewed. These were not tales of hunger or thirst. They were tales of abundance, of the truth that the spirit, like the vessel, can be filled again and again, that emptiness is not the end, but an opening waiting for life to return. So too, when the vessel within you feels empty, it is only waiting for the rain of the world, for the wine of joy, for the quiet water of peace. You set the vessel down upon the stone altar. Its presence glows in the night. Candles flicker, their flames mirrored in the curve of its body. The air is warm with stillness. The roundness of the vessel feels eternal. It is the circle of the moon, the circle of the earth, the circle of breath, rising and falling, always returning. Even as your body rests now, you are like the vessel, breathing in, filling, breathing out, pouring. Each breath a libation, given to the silence of the night. You remember that the vessel is also a symbol of the body, like clay shaped by unseen hands. Fragile, yet strong enough to carry life open, ready to hold joy, sorrow, memory, and dream. And within this body, the soul rests like clear water in a cup, still, yet shining, silent, yet alive, a vessel within a vessel, carried through time. The night grows deeper, the stars lean closer, the vessel glows, reflecting heaven and earth alike. In its roundness, you see peace. In its stillness, you feel calm. It holds not only offerings, but the reminder that you too are whole. No matter how much is poured out, strength, love, time, there is always a return. The vessel teaches patience. The vessel teaches trust. You close your eyes. The vessel remains before you, timeless, unbroken. Its rim catches moonlight. Its body holds silence. Its presence lulls you, like a lullaby without words. You breathe with it, you rest with it, you dream with it. And so, As the night continues, the sacred vessel continues too. Quiet, patient, eternal. It holds all offerings. It holds all prayers. It holds the peace that flows into your sleep now. Let the vessel rest upon the altar of your heart. Let its roundness soothe you. Let its still water remind you of fullness, of peace. Now rest as the vessel rests, now sleep. As the night holds you, now drift onward, as the sacred vessel keeps its watch. At last, we come to the spiral, the path of return, the symbol of dream itself. Here we surrender, drifting into the endless turning of rest, guided by forgotten sacred signs. The night opens like a gentle curtain. Soft winds move slowly across the sky. The stars seem close, glowing like scattered lanterns above a quiet field. You lie within this stillness, cradled by darkness, wrapped in silence. Before you, drawn upon the earth, is a spiral, a curve that begins wide, then folds inward, turning, until it rests at the center. It waits like a path, not a path of stone or dust, but of rhythm, of breath, of dream. The spiral is not hurried. It is never straight. It bends like water, flowing with patience, circling back, carrying you deeper with every turn. Since ancient times, the spiral has appeared, carved into stones older than temples, painted on walls inside hidden caves, woven into the patterns of baskets, shells, and sacred songs. It was seen as the breath of the universe itself, a path of birth and return, a symbol of journeys that never truly end. In Celtic lands, the spiral was etched into great stones facing the rising sun. To them, it was a sign of life unfolding, always moving outward, then back inward again. In Greece, spirals curled across vases and columns, echoing the endless flow of waves. In India, the spiral was the serpent coiled, the energy sleeping at the base of the spine, waiting to rise. And across oceans, the spiral appeared again, in the carvings of Pacific islands, where it marked the path of voyagers across endless seas. Always the spiral, everywhere the spiral, as though all who looked to the world's patterns found the same truth hidden in its turning lines. The spiral is seen in the sky. Galaxies spin in wide arms of light, folding inward to a luminous heart. It is seen in the sea. Shells of small creatures curve in patient perfection. A home of endless circles, it is seen in the body, the fingerprint on every hand, the curled shell of the ear that listens, the breath that turns in and out like a tide. The spiral is both vast and small. It lives in stars and in sand. It carries the same message wherever it is found, that life is not a line, but a gentle return. You take a slow step into the spiral drawn before you. The earth beneath feels soft, like moss in moonlight. Each step carries you closer, turning inward. The world outside grows quiet. The world within grows wide. The spiral teaches patience. You cannot rush to the center. You must turn and turn again. Each curve teaches stillness. Each step is a breath. Soon you feel the rhythm. The spiral is not something you walk. It is something you drift through, like a stream that carries you, turning with its gentle flow. In dreams, the spiral is the guide. Each night, the mind does not leap into sleep. It turns, thoughts loosen, memories soften. The body curls, the breath deepens, the spirit drifts inward. Dreams spiral too. They begin at the edges, familiar, close to waking. Then slowly they circle deeper, becoming stranger, more sacred, more soft. And at the center, there is silence, a place beyond image, beyond word, a rest that holds all rest. The ancients knew this spiral of dream. Some called it the soul's journey. Some called it the ladder of sleep. But always it was the same, a turning inward, guided by something greater than the self. You close your eyes, yet still you walk. The spiral is beneath you, unseen but felt. It curves like breath. It leads without effort. You feel as though you are inside a great shell, turning toward its heart. The walls glisten, pearly and smooth. A quiet hum echoes, soft as lullaby. It is the sound of life itself, coiling gently, holding you. You drift deeper. Each curve is slower than the last. each step lighter, until you no longer walk. You float. The spiral carries you. Like a current of dream, the spiral also tells of return, not only going inward, but also outward again, like the moon, which wanes and grows full, like the tides, which fall and rise, like sleep, which gathers you into night, then releases you into dawn. Every rest is a spiral, every dream is a journey inward, and back outward once more. This is why the spiral is eternal. It does not end. It turns and turns again. In some myths, the spiral was the path of the soul after death, not a straight road, but a winding, gentle way. It led through layers of silence, through rings of light, always moving inward, until the spirit came to its still center, and from there it would turn outward again. Born anew into the world, the spiral held no fear. It was not a trap, but a promise, a reminder that nothing is lost, only returning. A leaf falls and becomes soil. Soil feeds the root. Roots feed the tree, and the tree again grows leaves, the spiral of dream, the spiral of life, always the same song. You drift deeper still. The spiral has grown wide around you, its curves vast as the night sky. But at its heart there is a point of stillness, waiting, a place of peace, where all turning rests. You feel that you are close now. The silence grows heavy, yet tender, like the hush of a temple after prayer, like the breath of the ocean just before dawn. The spiral draws you inward, your body softens, your mind quiets, your heart slows. You reach the center. It is not a place of sound or sight. It is only stillness, gentle, endless, whole. Here in the center, the spiral speaks without words. It tells you that every journey returns, that every sorrow circles back to joy, that every night carries you back to morning, that every dream carries you back to waking. It reminds you that you are safe within this turning, always guided, always carried, never lost. You rest in this truth. You breathe in its calm. You surrender to its rhythm, and slowly, the spiral begins to carry you outward again, not hurried, not abrupt, like the tide rising back to the shore, like the dawn slowly touching the horizon. The spiral unfolds, turning gently, guiding you outward from the silence, but you are not leaving it behind. It rests within you now, etched into your breath, into your heart, into your dream. The night remains deep, the stars remain bright, the spiral beneath you fades into shadow, but its path continues in your sleep. A hidden guide, soft as moonlight, patient as time. You drift with it now, not needing to walk, not needing to see. The spiral holds you. The spiral carries you. The spiral sings you into rest. Now let your spirit curl inward, like the shell. Let your breath flow outward.
Like the tide, let your dream turn in silence.
Like the stars, the eternal spiral of dream holds you, always, without end. Now rest, as the spiral turns. Now sleep, as the spiral deepens. Now drift onward, as the spiral guides you into peace.